Good morning, neighbors. It's Michael at beautiful Village on the Park with my wonderful friend, Jared. Jared, how are you, sir?
Good, sir. How are you doing today?
Good. Well, I'll tell you, I was ahead of the weather delay today. Storms coming tonight, and I decided to have a huge delay in the show. So here we are at 10 minutes till 10. We'll just bump it a little bit.
But in another time zone, we're on time.
We're on time in another. I think that might be Mountain or someplace like that. Wherever. We're certainly behind if we're on the East Coast, if you will. So, well, we're here this morning at beautiful Village on the Park with Jared, and we're really talking about kind of all-encompassed senior living. This is the place to be. I mean, when it's time, folks, for you to think about the opportunities to give up lawn mowing, give up painting the house, give up putting a new roof on, doing all of those things, and getting to quality living.
Yep.
All in one stop. It's right here, isn't it?
We spend a lot of time on chores in our daily lives, and when you can give up those chores, you have a lot of free time to do the things you've always wanted to do in your life. And so you can start your bucket list here.
Exactly.
And we're catered living, and we'd love to have anyone come out and see our community here, what we have to offer, because we have beautiful independent 2-bedroom, 2-bath cottages. When the time comes they need more help, they can move into our main building, into one of 7 different floor plans in our assisted living apartments.
Seven
different floor plans.
My goodness.
And we have 4 different floor plans in our memory care. So
wow.
It's a easy transition from assisted living to memory care, because you can get pretty much the same room you had and not be such a difficult time moving. So, but yeah, we're continuum of care here.
So I can do with or without the microwave.
Yes. You wouldn't need a microwave. We can cook everything for you.
Cook everything. Yeah, that's.
We like actual cooked food, not heated and served food anyway.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yep.
The only thing I need in the apartment there is yes, I do need a microwave because I enjoy warming my oatmeal cookies. I don't think Corey would enjoy me coming down every time to warm those oatmeal cookies.
No, but you could hit your button, because we have buttons, and then we come to you.
Ooh.
And we'll take your cookies from you to the microwave, bring them back.
Even better.
Maybe one short, but still we'll bring them back to you. So. But that's the risk you take when you.
Isn't that called pilfering, I believe? Or
well,
perhaps,
I would say it was, I want to make sure people are getting the top-notch quality product. So if there's a cookie in there that's minus a couple chips of chocolate chips, then to keep quality up, we'd have to take that away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taste
we have
testing.
a standard. We have a standard we have to meet here. So.
Well, I'll tell you, talk about standard. This is AAA plus standard.
Yep,
it really is.
This is a great spot. It's a nice, quiet area of town. It's not busy with traffic or anything like some of the other, places closer to the highway, closer in town. They're really busy and loud, and it's not the retirement setting you want. But out here, it's peaceful. It's quiet. Great views. We've got a beautiful lake next door. So
fishing.
Yeah, fishing.
Walking.
It's perfect time of year to start fishing. So
exactly.
And getting out and just walking around in the beautiful weather. So.
Well. One thing, of course, I like is the fact that when I come here, I don't need to pass a guard to get in, even though you have a nice wall out here. People always ask me, Mike, is that the retirement center with the half-Trump wall to it out there? And I'm going, well, I wouldn't describe it as a Trump wall. I would just describe it as a beautiful exterior wall that accentuates the beautiful landscaping here.
Definitely does.
So it's very nice. And cottages are what, 1,300 square feet?
Actually, almost 1,457.
Oh,
exactly.
So I robbed myself a little bit there.
Yep.
Nice time to get a golf cart.
Of room to downsize into from a larger house.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest part, is downsizing. You got all this stuff you've collected your whole life. Your kids don't want it, you don't want to just give it away, and so you want to bring it with you. They're full of memories. So
exactly.
But this helps you downsize in increments. So that way, when you finally do move into a smaller place, you don't have all that luggage and all that stuff. Well, so we have beautiful walk-in closets here in our apartments. So no one else in town has a walk-in closet.
No.
They're huge. They're almost a second bedroom. So so you can get all your seasons, all your stuff in our walk-in closets. And so we invite everyone to come out and see what we have to offer here.
What I like is your description on those closets, that it was bigger than your apartment at school when you went to college.
It was actually, it was
dorm,
the same size of my dorm room, and I had to share that with someone. So It was big to me.
It was big to you,
yeah.
but well, hey, what can we say?
Yep.
So you've got a great event coming up.
Yes, we do.
It is the wonderful, I call it the Easter egg, but you
It's
all
our
have
excellent adventure.
excellent
Yeah, it's going to be a
yes.
happening good time for everyone.
Happening.
So we've got
real comedian we got
two
here.
bouncy houses we've
Yes.
got, and I did check, and adults can.
Adults can.
Yeah, because
Mike and I were talking about that whole adult
yeah,
thing.
because I thought, well, if I'm not doing anything, and there's a nice bouncy house. It's been a long time, so I'd like to try it out. Make sure my insurance is up to date.
Yes,
for sure.
especially after the dance.
Yeah, and we've got we're gonna have Easter food. We're serving, and so we've actually invited all the neighborhoods around us to come.
Oh,
Invited our neighbors to come in and see what we have. So
great way to do it.
Working with the community there.
Now, there's a time to kind of RSVP, as they
Yeah,
say.
we'd like to have RSVPs, so we have a count on how much food to make by tomorrow.
Okay.
But really, you can drop on in if you're just driving by and you see the signs we have out front.
And a guy jumping up and down
Yeah,
in
in a bunny suit.
house,
Yeah,
in a bunny
exactly, or
suit,
something.
yeah.
Just swing on in. Bring your kids. Bring everyone. Just come on in. Have a good time. We've got an Easter egg hunt. So our event's from 2 to 4.
Okay.
And we're going to give tours and stuff throughout or afterward if you would like. There's going to be food. The Easter egg hunt itself will be at 3.
Okay.
And so we'll have lots of eggs full of candy for the
there
little
you go.
kids. And
So,
then,
what a great time.
Yep.
And now you have been forewarned by Mike, I think, on not trying to take all of the Easter eggs away from the kiddos.
No, I'm buying my own stack of chocolate Easter bunnies for my own self.
There
just
you
in
go.
case,
Okay.
to get me through.
Okay.
So
it may have some Reese's Pieces in there,
Yeah,
or some
yeah.
Hershey's chocolate.
No, you can overdo it on chocolate. I've learned from my son, who's now 26. He doesn't eat chocolate anymore. I asked him why, and he says, well, when I was 10, he bought me that 6-pound chocolate bunny. He spent 3 months trying to eat it, and he said I couldn't eat chocolate after that. So
Okay.
you can actually burn out on chocolate.
Really? I didn't know
My
that.
wife disagrees with that, but my son definitely says.
Diamonds and chocolate.
So maybe
to the heart of
6-pound
a-
bunny is too much, but a 3-pound bunny
I
would be
think a
appropriate.
3-pound. For those on a diet, I think the 3-pound is
Yeah.
much better deal. They may even have a light 3-pound.
Yeah. Well, that's how you got to finish a chocolate bunny like you would eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
There you go. There you go.
All right, anyway.
I'm going to ask Jared a minute if we can show that little piece of the excellent adventure picture, if you will, showing the times and
Yep.
all of that good stuff. And really, how can they? They can reach out to you on Facebook and connect to find the event there. How else can they get in touch with you?
They can call us here. Our concierge would be happy to take their reservation at 479-254-3650.
All right. 254
3650.
3650. All right. Well, there you go. Well, once again, my goodness, you're going to have quite a bit of activity going on. And again, this is coming up when?
It will be this Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yep, from 2 to 4.
All right. So once they've filled up on pancakes and breakfast in the morning, they can come out and do some bouncy house stuff, do some running around the property.
Yep.
Catching up on getting all the Easter eggs, and then from there getting a little extra food before they pile back in the car and go home with mom and dad.
And the fact that we're having them all in our courtyards means our family members can sit at a table and watch all the children play through the glass windows.
Exactly.
And they're all contained, so they're the kids aren't going to be running out in the street or anything like that. It's all safe and secure. So.
Now the glass is break proof, because when you get those kids that kind of run full force against the glass and bounce off, you want to make sure.
Well, if you see this window over here, you'll see the full imprint of a bird that hit the other day. His wings, his beak, and everything imprinted on the. So if it took a direct strike from, it looks like a seagull. I'm pretty sure it can withstand a little 3-year-old bouncing off of it. So
kind of like the Windex commercial, you all did really well on cleaning.
yeah,
the
I actually
glass
asked
and-
our housekeeper to leave that up for a little while because it's really funny when I walk by and I see this imprint. It looks like a Wile E. Coyote imprint on the window there. So it's kind of funny.
There you go. There you go. Well, Jared, once again, never a dull moment here at Village on the Park. I'll tell you, the great thing about it is that it does keep people active.
Yep.
That's what we
Yeah,
do.
and that's important.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
important.
It is. And speaking with a gentleman yesterday about keeping active, he's in his 80s and he still works at Walmart and says, Mike, this is what keeps me active. And
Well,
I
there you
said,
go.
there you go. So, Jared, Great to have you on the program this
Thanks,
morning,
Michael.
as always, and we look forward to getting a recap or an update of how the excellent adventure went.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right. Folks, we'll be right back in a few moments after this commercial break. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, neighbors, for joining us this morning. It is Easter week. We're often reminded of the death and burial and resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But at this time of the year, it's also about folks connecting and folks being able to look at one another and be involved with one another. And depression is often a form of holidays, it's often a form of remembrance, it's often a form of not being connected. And being depressed often really carries with it a burden. But I want you to know that when you're going through depression, you're not alone in this struggle, because millions of Americans suffer some form of depression year after year, making it one of the most common mental disorders in this country. And it really centers around medication, it centers around life events, it centers around many different things. But one of the things that's most uncommon that we as Americans step away from is connecting with people. And right now, I want to take a segue to Dr. Lee Horine with Ignite Chiropractic, talking about depression, and then I want to come back and make an appeal to you. Here's Dr. Lee Horine.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dr. Lee Horine with Ignite Chiropractic, and today we're going to discuss depression and why a lot of times people even that are on medications for depression, or even anxiety for that matter, often aren't giving them the results that they're looking for. You know, you seek out help and you go to your doctor, your psychiatrist, and oftentimes they're going to do something to try to prescribe you a medication to help to balance out your neurotransmitters, because there's an imbalance in your brain that's not being able to produce enough of the kind of the happiness chemicals that you have, because things are all out of balance. And it's often met with limited results. Sometimes it can take the edge off and people prefer to stay on them than to be off of them, yet it's still not quite getting to the to the root cause, or really solving their problems like they think that it's going to, and they're really hoping that it will. Other people, it works for a while, and they're like, oh, thank goodness, I'm on this, and this medication's working. And then at some point, it stops working, and then you go back to your doctor, and you're working with them to try to find something different. Either they're increasing the dose, they're changing out different medications, and this can sometimes feel like a hamster wheel that you're on, and you're jumping from one medicine to another, and it's when it worked before, it's no longer working now. And the reason for all that is because really it's never going to work, because the chemicals that are being produced in your brain are being produced by your body. If something's produced by your body, it means it's supposed to be produced in your body. And the neurotransmitters of dopamine and serotonin, which have a big impact on the reward cascade and also your happiness levels and satisfaction and contentment with life, they are made to be produced within your body and not have something from the outside in, like a drug, take over that responsibility. So it's only going to work for a limited amount of time with limited results, and it's never going to quite give you the same results that you're hoping for. Now, in order to fully understand this, without getting into too much technical jargon, your body has two different parts in your nervous system. Your nervous system is your brain and your spinal cord, and all the electrical signals from your brain and throughout the body are run through your nervous system. Everything in your brain is part of your nervous system as well. Now, what happens is that it's split up into two parts. One is for when you're stressed out, and that could be literally being chased by a bear, something like extremely stressed out, and you're in full... Sorry, there was a phone call that came through on my phone, and I wasn't sure if I was still being recorded or not. So you can be in full-on survival mode, or something less extreme than that, where maybe you're constantly thinking about stressful thoughts. You're in a wind-up where today's society, you've been injured and you're recovering from the injury, plus that you have work stress on your plate, plus you have the stress of raising a family, plus you have the stress of being a good spouse, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, maybe schoolwork, other career ambitions, just a whole load of just life stuff that we deal with on a regular basis, traffic outside. All of that acts as like tiny little stressors that add up to sometimes being enough that it's very similar, your body responds very similarly as if you're being chased by a bear or you're being chased by an animal. And of course you're not. So when that happens, your part of your nervous system that is purely there for survival, short-term survival mode kicks in. Your heart rate goes up, as if you're preparing to run. Your digestive enzymes, they shut down and they stop, so you're not going to digest food the way that you're supposed to, because who needs to digest food and spend energy on doing that when you're literally trying to run away from a bear? Different story, right? So this is a short-term survival mode. Your hands become really cold because the blood leaves your extremities, your arms and your legs, and the fine motor skills go away. So, and then also your ability to think logically starts to diminish. So you become very highly reactive and just kind of like on edge. And when this happens for a long period of time, literally your brain just can't handle it anymore, and it starts to shut down. And when it shuts down, it starts to kind of give up because it's been overworked and overstressed for too long. The other side of your brain, or of your nervous system, so to speak, is there for healing and recovery. And if you're trying to heal and recover, that should be at least half of your day, right? Every 24 hours, at least half of it should be spent on the healing and recovery side of things. Maintenance type of issues, right? Making sure that the cells are repaired, making sure your immune system is able to kill off certain, bacteria and viruses that are out there. Everything is supposed to be there to kind of clean up and make sure that everything stays healthy. Well, the thing is, if you're in that stress side, you're not able to be in the healing side. People get kicked off in that for too long, and they literally get into this wind-up effect that will crash your nervous system, and now you can't produce your own levels of neurotransmitters. You can't produce the serotonins, the dopamines. And so, of course things are going to be depressive because you're just not designed to be in that system for that long of a period of time. So what is awesome, though, is that there's a lot of cool research out there that shows that you can measure this with heart rate variability. They do this in labs and testing, and basically it tells you how much are you into that fight or flight mode and that stressed out side of things. Clearly, if you have the symptoms, you know that you're there, but in research, they always want to measure these things so they can make assessments about it, study it. And what they found is that people that are depressed are, not surprisingly, way into that zone of stress mode, right? Into that fight or flight survival mode. Chemicals get messed up, they get out of balance, and what is phenomenal is, and this makes a lot of sense, why we see such great results with people that have been on depressive medications. They come in a wide range of severity levels here. And there's no immediate overnight fix, but what happens is, as people begin to get adjusted, what that does is that reconnects the brain back to the body so that now you can actually start to balance out that stress response. And it is very simple what we do here in the office, but it has huge impacts on the brain and the nervous system, and it will literally begin to tip you into that healing side more than you're in the stressed out side. And over time, right, some weeks, months of doing this and getting into that healing side, your body is able to now take over and start creating its own neurotransmitters again. You're able to start creating enough serotonin that things start to get better. Plus, all sorts of other things in the body that have not been able to heal start to heal, which is why people that are suffer with depression or anxiety, often it seems like their whole body and their world is falling apart around them because literally they can't heal and they can't regenerate tissues the way that they're supposed to, because your body, if you're alive, is supposed to be regenerating and healing. So when we start getting people adjusted, you literally get reconnected from your brain to your body, and that life force energy that is constantly there to heal you. Because again, if you're alive, you're there to heal, and you will heal. You just got to make sure that you give your body that right information so that it can. And what oftentimes will happen is either people will get off of a lot of their medications, sometimes people get off of it entirely, and obviously that's a phenomenal experience to have, and we see it so often, and it's like, man, if you have not been going and getting adjusted and getting chiropractic care, then you're missing out on actually truly healing from the inside out, because our bodies are not designed to need to have drugs and surgery in order to solve our issues. Now, there's a time and a place for that, but it's a short period of time that those things tend to be useful, and you got to figure out how to fix that problem on your own and allow your body to heal. So I want to give you some encouragement here that this can, you don't have to suffer with this the rest of your life. So if you know anyone or you yourself are suffering from this, come in, start getting adjusted, and send some other folks this information because they need to hear about it as well. I guarantee you folks are looking for this information. So please send it to anyone you know who might find value in this. And again, this is Dr. Lee Horan with Ignite Chiropractic, and look forward to serving you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, Dr. Lee, for some great insight into depression and this time of the year. Depression is caused, again, by many different forms. I'm amazed at the statistics, I should say, that depression is accounted for in the United States for about 15.7 million adults that have suffered some form of depression. Usually those individuals have talked about having at least one major depressive episode in the last 12 months. The other number that staggers me when it comes to depression, and especially around the holiday times, is that 11.4% of all U.S. adolescents between the ages of 12 to 17 have suffered some form of depression as well. Folks, this holiday season, this Easter season of anything else, I implore you and I encourage you to connect with friends, someone that you know in your sphere, and talk about ways to get help. Because going it alone, especially during a holiday time, is not the way to go. And again, I encourage you to connect with someone. I also encourage you to think about connecting in church somewhere. This Easter season coming up, it is about the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I encourage you again, even though you may or may not believe, the whole point is to get out and to connect. And I believe connecting in our churches, I believe connecting with friends, I believe in connecting with someone that can walk you through the help, especially in the death of someone that was near and dear to you. I've seen many posts on Facebook this time of the year about individuals who have in fact lost loved ones during the Easter season, and it's hard, and certainly I understand that. Right now, coming up, we have a great guest after our commercial break from the Passion Play that Carrie Perrin-Smith is going to interview, and we're excited to have the great Passion Play folks here to talk about what's going on in Eureka Springs. We'll be right back.
Well, good morning. I'm Carrie Perrin-Smith, your Justice of the Peace for District 5 here in Benton County. And this morning, I'm super excited during this special Easter season to have Mallory Butler with the Great Passion Play, dressed in costume this morning.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very
So
much.
you're doing something special at the Great Passion Play this week.
Yeah, so we've never had an Easter weekend performance. We usually start the opening weekend of May, but this year we're trying something new. We're going to have a Good Friday performance this Friday and Saturday night. So it's the first time doing it, and we're hoping it brings people in for Easter weekend and they can come, see the life of Christ before Easter.
Yeah, and with Easter being so late this year, that really does open up the opportunity because, our weather is a wild card.
Yes, especially in April.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
never know. And so I think it's exciting, but with a late Easter like this, it's a really neat opportunity to do something like this. So it's your first time.
Yes, we've never done an Easter weekend performance
Wow,
before.
any idea on capacity or?
No, it looks like we're going to have a good turnout, though, and hopefully the weather, it looks like it'll stay away from us since it's an outdoor theater, so we do have to pay attention to the weather, but people can bring ponchos and umbrellas, but the weather looks like it'll be good for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay for that. Now, what is your role with the Great Passion Play, and then how long have you been involved?
Well, I'm kind of in, I help behind the scenes, but I have done Mary Magdalene, I've grown up with it, so I've been in the play since I was 5 years old, since 1998, wow. And I have done various roles since then. I started out as a little lame girl, as a dead child, and so I kind of, went up the ladder and did different roles as I grew up. So.
Oh, how fun. And so you work in production now.
Yes, kind of behind the scenes.
So lighting and sound and
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
So is that fun? Do you enjoy it? Do you miss acting, or do you
Yeah,
really
it's
enjoy
fun.
because there's a lot of things you have to know and be on top of with the sound and lighting, right?
Yeah, it's a different perspective. So I actually get to see it from, the front, and I get to see everything all at once. Whereas when I was acting, I was, one person behind the set, part of a big thing. So it's a really cool perspective to see it a different
Yeah.
light. Yeah.
Yeah, for people who have never been to the Great Passion Play, what can they expect?
Well, it is an outdoor drama that depicts the last life of depicts the last week of Jesus's life. So it is drama form. The set is beautiful. It's in a hillside. You can see the Christ of the Ozark statue in the distance, and it's just a really, really cool experience to be able to see the story of Jesus come to life. And you're able to, put images and a visual with the story that you know. Yeah.
Very cool. So what goes on? Okay, we know the play is at night, right?
Yes.
What goes on during the rest of the day?
Oh, we have so many things. You can make a day trip out of it. You can come and do the Holy Land tour during the day. We have a Bible museum, which is amazing. If you have not seen our Bible museum, it is phenomenal. We have an art museum. We have a petting zoo now with lots of animals for the kids to come and pet and feed. There's llamas and sheep. I mean, it's a whole family ordeal. And we also have a buffet, so you can come eat dinner before the play. This year, we started having biking and hiking trails. So the Walton Family Foundation, they funded a $1 million project to get biking and hiking trails in the Passion Play area. We have acres that we've never used, and now they are being used for making trails. And these trails are top-notch. If you haven't come and seen them, you've got to come and see them. It's bringing new people that have never seen the Passion Play that do love biking. They can come and bike, and then they can look around and see the statue. And it's just a really, really cool addition to the play and the whole property.
Very cool. Very cool. So the trails are all finished?
Well, we have over 15 miles finished already. They are doing more, so expect more miles, but there are enough trails for beginners, for families with kids. You can come. There's a trail for you. But then we also have a little bit of a more expert trail, so people that love to do a little bit harder stuff, we have trails for that. So they have made trails for all ages and all levels.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that 15 miles is plenty for me.
Oh, well, and they'll be making more. So if you come, you can come again whenever they have more.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So you also have mission groups. Tell me
Right.
about those.
So last year we really started having weeks where you can bring your church mission group or whatever mission group that you have, and you can come for a week, and we actually have a facility where you can stay the night for the whole week, and you just do projects on the set. You get to be a part of the play, the Passion Play. You get to it's a total new idea to a mission trip. It's a mission right here in Northwest Arkansas, right in Eureka Springs, but you're still impacting hundreds of people each night. And churches, you can reserve spots, you can go online, you can call, but you can bring your church or your group, and you can come and stay here for a week and help us and be a part of it.
Oh, how
Yeah.
interesting. That is a neat,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a neat twist and get a chance to be behind the scenes. And so does that run the whole season?
They usually do mission trips in the summer months, but we do have availability in August and September as well. So you can come in the fall. Most people, it's during the summer when the kids are out of school, but depending on your mission group, you can come anytime during the season.
Yeah. Okay, so this week you have a Friday and Saturday show. When do you finally open? And
May 3rd and 4th. So we officially open the opening weekend of May. Now this weekend, our performance is at 7:30 p.m. But starting in May, it will be at 8:30 p.m. and that goes through Labor Day. And then after Labor Day, it goes back to 7:30. And we actually run May through October.
okay. So how do they get tickets?
They can go online to greatpassionplay.org, or they can call our number, and you can reserve tickets, or you can come the day of and just make sure we have tickets. Either way.
Exciting. So that's possible to just wander into Eureka Springs
Yeah.
one day and go, hey, let's see if they have tickets. So that's
Absolutely,
possible.
yes, yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't know if it was like, oh no, it's got to be months in advance.
No, yeah, come on over, yeah.
Like the Tower of London.
Right.
You have to like 6 months in advance. And I'm going, well, what if I cancel my trip? You know?
Yeah, no, it's very flexible and very easy. We actually have one-use anytime tickets, so if you want to give a gift to somebody, you can buy them a ticket and they can use it any night,
Oh,
or you
that's
can use it
nice.
any night.
That's nice. That's very cool. So, this is a surprise question because I think we have some time. We've got 3 minutes. Okay. What's your favorite memory of working on the Great Passion Play?
Well, my dad used to play the Christ figure, and he's now close to 60s. Don't tell him that I told you that. But he decided to drop out of the Christ figure role, so he had one night where he was going to do his final performance. And so we knew he was going to be doing it his final time, and it was very emotional because he had done it for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And so I actually brought in my brothers, who haven't been in the play for a while. It was a whole family ordeal when we were growing up. We were all in it together. But they have since moved on, got different jobs, went to college, and I'm the only one that's kind of stayed at the Passion Play with my dad. So he decided to have his last performance, and I brought my brothers back. And they were all major characters in the play right next to my dad for his final performance. And so my brother got to be John, the other brother got to be Malchus, and then the other brother got to be the Centurion, and I was Mary Magdalene. And we got to surround my dad on his final night as Christ figure. It was very, very sweet. It just shows that it can be a family thing. It can be emotional, and I love that memory.
Yeah. So do you still live in Eureka?
Yeah, so my husband and I live there. We've lived there for about 4 years now, and we love it. It's gorgeous. We're actually really close to the Passion Playground, so we're really close to work, and we love the area, and we're loving where we're at.
Wow. And what does your husband do?
So my husband, he does a lot of things, but he is also one of the Christ figures, but he is kind of in charge of marketing in different areas of the play, and he does a pre-show before the play, which is free with your ticket. It's called David the Shepherd, and he does a presentation about David. Kids love it because afterwards he shows how to use a shepherd sling, how David would have killed Goliath. So he throws marshmallows and other fun things, and the kids love that, and that's before the play.
Oh my goodness.
And then also before the play is the parables of the potter. And so a guy named Joe Smith comes out and makes a piece of pottery right there on the spot, and he actually does a whole speech on it, and it's really powerful as well. And both of those are before the play.
Well, isn't that neat? So those are just like an adage. Be sure and show up.
Yeah, come earlier than the play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, how fun. So, well, that's really neat. So once again, to reach out and get tickets, especially for this weekend, go to the website at
greatpassionplay.org, or they can call 479-253-8559. And you can call and get tickets, or you can come this weekend and show up, and hope to see ya. And it has changed. We've added new scenes. We have added old scenes that used to be like in the 90s playback. And we've also added pyrotechnics. So if you have not come the last 2 years, you've got to come see it. We've added fireworks, and it's a really, really cool new version of what our classic story.
Yeah, very cool. And something I learned just last year was you were a 501c3.
Yes, nonprofit.
So, that's right. So people can make, if you're looking for a place to donate some of your, your family's charity fund, or tithe money.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. So you have the ability to donate online to the Great Passion Play as well. So. Well, excellent. Mallory Butler, thank you so much for being here today. This was so cool. So
I love to be in here. Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed it. Good luck this weekend. I hope you have a packed house and perfect weather.
Thank you. Me too.
Did you know that out of 300 million people in the United States, only 18% go to church? That means that there are 240 million people without a place of worship. Have you ever wondered why so few people go to church? For some, they just don't want to. For others, they're afraid to. But for nearly half, is because no one has invited them. Think about that. More than 110 million people in the U.S. are willing to visit church if it's with a friend. And that's a fact. In a recent survey, about 90% of people that started going to church were simply invited. So why are we so afraid to ask? Because we don't have all the answers. Because we might feel awkward. Because they might feel awkward. But what if? What if they find a place to belong? What if they meet a new community of friends? What if they discover God's grace for the first time? This Easter, let's take the risk. Let's invite someone who's been waiting for the opportunity to go to church, to be a part, to come alive.
And we're back. Thanks, Carrie, for just a great interview with Mallory from the Great Passion Play. Always excited to get over there and really just take the time to explore not only Eureka Springs for a lot of great eating, dining, entertainment, but also that very key event of the Great Passion Play. And what a wonderful time of the year to be able to go to that event and really witness the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And we really have a wonderful, wonderful guest with us today, Jeff Gates with the Arkansas Air and Military Museum. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Welcome, sir.
Glad to have you on. I'll tell you, Jeff, I for years have traveled in and out of, before we had the regional airport, Drake Field, as it was formerly known.
Exactly.
And so I remember traveling out of there and wondering if with the wind and everything else coming in and out, whether I'd get out of that airport in terms of just the opportunity of the hills and the mountains
and the trees and everything else.
But I'll tell you, in terms of the aerial shot, when you come into that airport, that airfield particularly, it is a beautiful landscape of where it is set.
It is. It is beautiful. In fact, they still use that airport when the U of A football team or basketball team will leave.
Okay.
They still fly in commercial jets into that airport, so they get that thrill of landing there, where they don't get the thrill back there at XNA.
At XNA, it's just kind of you land and here you are now.
Exactly.
But I will tell you this: I was excited to get you on the show to talk about the Air and Military Museum there in Fayetteville. It's one of those best kept secrets that folks, at the end of the day, it's just like, wow, didn't know this was here. I remember several years back, we took our son, and it was actually really encompassed it on really kind of two, what I call travel venues. The particular day that I took our son, which was exciting to me, was I got on the Arkansas-Missouri Railroad and traveled down to Winslow, I believe, and had some lunch. We enjoyed the town, got back on, came back up on the train, and then from there, from Springdale, we went over to the Air and Military Museum. We just kind of made a day of what can you do in Northwest Arkansas.
Exactly.
And these are just some of the best kept secrets.
It really is, and we don't mean it to be, but that is the truth. I mean, there are people that have lived here all their lives. The museum opened in 1986, and there are people that see it when they drive down Highway 71 through Greenland down toward West Fork, or they're coming back up, and they don't realize that it's there.
Well, you're exactly right. You and I were talking prior to coming on about, kind of the shifts and turns in how our roads have been reconstructed and diverted. And here we are now. We had this wonderful bypass that got put together, and it took our folks off of the roads that we ended up traveling so much of the time. It kind of takes me back to, in one sense, a sad part in the movie of Cars, when here it was, I believe it was Route 66. And all of a sudden the highways diverted folks off of Route 66. So those kind of little getaways that we saw along the way ended up going away in our minds. And you talked about 20 to 30,000 visitors a year would attend the museum
when they first opened up.
Yes,
sir.
And they opened up, I mean, when? When did they open up?
They opened up in 1986, and once they did the highway, though, in the 90s, the numbers dropped from 20 to 30,000 to 2 to 3,000.
I mean, it was just over the cliff. It was more than a 50% drop off.
Yeah, because instead of everybody being able to see the museum as they're driving up the road, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. And you all have been doing a lot to promote not only the Air and Military Museum, but the field in general. And that's been, through kind of social media. It's been through Facebook. You've got a wonderful web page.
Yes, sir.
And you've got your calendar of events out there for folks to be able to look at and determine when you're open, when you're closed. And, it's really interesting to me about the history of the museum. We were talking about when that hangar was built.
Yeah, the old white wooden hangar there was built they started on it in 1943, they completed in 1944.
Wow.
And outside of replacing a few boards, probably across the top of the building, but as far as the wooden planks that run, tongue and groove wooden planks that run across the top of the building. And but outside of replacing a few of those from having nail damage and things like that, it's the original building.
The original building.
Talk
about how construction back then versus today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, in the end, that was solid construction.
It was.
And here that building is still standing today.
Yeah,
phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they did a good job.
And now, in the Air Museum, you have a number of exhibits.
Yes.
A lot of exhibits. I want to see if we can roll some of the pictures of the different exhibits that we have. And I don't know if we can pause these, but if not, we'll just kind of roll through them and just kind of look at them here. But here's a picture of a...
Yeah, that's the white one there was Mr. Mulligan. That's a Travel Air 4000.
Okay.
That's one of the Cobras that we have. We have three. That's a British Ferret.
Okay.
That's a Boeing Stearman. There's another picture of Mr. Mulligan there.
Wow. And so we've got...
Yeah, and there's a picture of the wooden hangar from the roof there. And like I said, that's the way it is. The Learjet there belonged to Bobby Youngkin. Bobby Youngkin and the Youngkin family actually helped put some of the planes in the museum to help to loan some of the planes to the museum to help start the museum back in the 80s.
Back in the... And see, so that is local folks getting involved in putting something of history in a museum.
Yeah.
And preserving what history we have of aeronautics as well as the different eras of wars that we've been through as well. One of the videos that I had looked at, I think you all had a B-52 or something, or one of the bombers or something
that
like
was
that.
Probably
that was on.
Yeah, we've doing Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. We will usually have aircraft that will come in to the museum.
Okay.
It's more of a fundraiser for us. We're hoping to get associated with Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue at one time. We're still working on that part. But,
okay.
We'll bring in aircraft like B-29, which was Fifi, a B-17 bomber, a B-25 bomber, P-51 Mustangs. Those types of aircraft we'll try to bring in so that people can see them. They can go tour through them. They actually, for a fee, will actually get a chance to fly in them. So
really,
so it's
that
really cool.
is phenomenal.
Last year we had That's All Brother, which was one of the lead ships, the C-47, which is like a DC-3.
Okay.
He was one of the lead ships that actually led the invasion into Normandy.
Oh my.
And so he was here last year with a B-25, and so people got a chance to ride in that. They're actually over or on their way to England now. They're going to do the thing to Normandy on June the 4th. So, but they're in the process of getting over there for that. So.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
That is history in and of itself. To fly aboard a plane like that and then go to Normandy.
Yes.
That is phenomenal. What do people find interesting, Jeff, in going to the museum? In other words, what do you find that people kind of take away from their visits at the museum?
Well, the scope that we have, like I said, we have Huey and Cobra helicopters from the Vietnam War. Mm-hmm. We have 2 Shawnee helicopters. One flew down there, was donated to the museum in 2014.
Okay.
From Max Hall. He actually restored it. So that one is the newest exhibit, the large exhibit that we have.
That you have there.
That we have there.
Okay.
That's a permanent exhibit. We have vehicles that range from a 1931 Model A Ford, mainly because we wanted to show people this is what you drove and this is what you flew in the 20s and 30s, so that you could see that it wasn't, this is what it was and this is what it is now.
Well,
so
I'll tell you, we've gone from, so Jeremy will laugh at me about this, so this shows my age as well, but we've gone from, in the day of flying in terms of dressing up and eating full meals on an airplane to now we throw on T-shirts and shorts and hope maybe they'll be nice to throw us a bag of peanuts when we're...
Yes, you're right.
Because that was back in the day when you flew, you dressed up.
Yeah, one of the pictures that he showed was from Frontier Airlines that used to fly out of the airport here. And so we've got displays of that from Eastern Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Skyways, which was actually started in Northwest Arkansas out of the wooden hangar. So
phenomenal.
We've got all kinds of displays.
See, and I bet nobody knew that we actually had an airline that started here in Northwest Arkansas.
They probably didn't, but Ray Ellis actually started Skyways here.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Where did that fly, by the way? From
it flew from here. It went to Dallas. It went to.
Everybody goes to Dallas. What's the deal with Dallas?
It went to different areas around Northwest Arkansas. Went to Oklahoma City. It went to Kansas City, St. Louis. I think it went to Memphis. And then down toward, it went to Little Rock, and then wherever mainly it went to, it was a commuter flight mainly, so it could connect to the big airlines.
Okay, and then to kind of a regional concept as well, probably over to St. Louis and places like that. Well, so it's been interesting to me too about the museum. It's one of, you and I were talking earlier that it's one of those rarities of being able, when you tour the museum, to actually get up close to the actual exhibits.
Yeah.
A lot of museums that you go into, nothing wrong with that. There's a reason that they don't have you touching certain things. And even, I will say this, as you and I also discussed, in the Air and Military Museum, there are things that you don't want touched. And you, of course, post those signs to say, please do not touch. But, so that is the beauty of this museum. It is one of the few museums that you can actually walk up to and actually get close.
Yes.
To witness history.
Yeah, you can, like for the Shawnee helicopters, the CH-21s, it's a dual rotor helicopter. You can actually stick your head up inside and look and see how people would sit in there during the Vietnam War, at the beginning of the Vietnam War.
See, that's taking you back to having read a little bit of history and then actually experiencing history in and of itself. One of the things that I get excited too about is the ability that you all have schools that come and tour the Air and Military Museum. And I really think that's neat for kids to experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, not only schools, but we've had senior citizen groups come down. They just need to contact the museum so that we can set up a time. And we actually have a group rate for those people.
Okay.
And so it's easier, and that way we can set up a tour guide or two we've had as many, and we don't particularly like to do it because the museum isn't that big, but we've had as many as 150 people come in at one time.
150.
Yeah, of youth and school groups, but it divides the group into 4 groups. I mean, divides them into four different individual groups, and it's just we end up stepping over the top of each other. So we try not to do that many at one time, but if we have to, we have to.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just the nature of scheduling.
Scheduling, exactly.
Well, Jeff, I'll tell you too, how do folks connect with you as far as social media? You all have a Facebook page?
We have the Facebook page and the website.
Okay.
We're working on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
It's a work in progress still on that part of it.
Well, I'll tell you, every day I wake up, it's a work in progress. Some days just to get out of bed is a work in progress. But I will tell you this. One of the things that I do like about the fact that this Air and Military Museum exists, it really gets people engaged to look at how we came along in our military history, how we came along in travel. I think those are 2 very important things that people kind of, we take for granted getting on an airline. We take for granted, what it takes to put military vehicles on the ground and things like that. So there's a lot of logistics that goes into play with all that. And the museum takes you back to history, to outlining how all of that took place. And so we're very excited to have had you on the program today. Let folks know how they can contact you as well as, or rather at the museum, and also, hosting private events that you all have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of private events that you all can host, everything from weddings to, just groups that want to hold events there, galas, all sorts of different things that you can do
Exactly,
there.
they do that. They can contact the museum at the phone number 479-521-4947.
Okay.
They can contact us through the website. There's a link there that goes right to our email addresses.
Okay.
So the website there, the Facebook page has a link on it to where you can contact us also.
Okay.
We're there. We're like I said, the calendar of events this weekend will be open on Easter Sunday, but
Now that's phenomenal.
But
right
we're
there.
going to be closed that particular Friday and Saturday because of an event that we've got going on. That's a private event.
Okay.
But we will be open on Easter Sunday. So.
Okay. All right.
And just check out our calendar on the website, and it will show you which days that we're open before you come down, or you can give us a call. The hours are Sunday through Friday from 11 to 4:30.
All right.
And on Saturday, they're 10 to 4:30.
There you go. So moms, folks in what I call homeschool, even schools as well, pick up the phone, call the Fayetteville Air and Military Museum. It's a wonderful opportunity to experience history. I mean, we read about history a lot in our books at schools, but to experience it, to touch it, to go back in time, that's a whole different game right there.
It is.
And it is one that every person, individual, should experience. And we, just like we say, sometimes we drive by the best of things that are right in front of us. And so get a chance, give Jeff a call. It is also, folks, if you're looking for something to volunteer at, Jeff was telling me earlier, a lot of what they do is done on a volunteer basis. Call them, check them out, and we look forward to getting Jeff back closer to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue to talk about that upcoming event. In the meantime, here in a few minutes, we're going to be right back with our good folks from Key Point Church and talk about Convoy of Hope and their Easter service coming up. We'll be right back.
Today's a bright day. Shine, shine, shine. Come join us on an adventure to the Air Museum for Homeschool Field Trip Day. Take a lesson.
Hey, and we are back, and this time we are talking with the folks from Key Point Church. Now, Shirla Job is not a stranger to the show, but this morning we welcome Jared Ring from Key Point Church. So welcome.
Thank you very much.
So it is Holy Week, so
Yes.
there's some activities going on.
Sure. Busiest time of the year for those that work for churches, which is a really exciting time of the year. We got some exciting opportunities coming up to get plugged in. Of course, our Easter services this weekend, Good Friday service at 6:30 at Key Point Church, as well as our Sunday morning times at 8:30, 10 o'clock, and 11:30.
Very good. So you have some fun stuff going on Saturday afternoon.
We do. We love to be involved in the community and getting to know our neighbors and just serving those around us. And so we are having what's called Easter Fest on Saturday evening from 4 to 7 p.m. It's going to take place out in the community, so that we'll be in Rogers at Grace Hill Elementary School and then in Springdale at Knapp Elementary School.
So it's two places. So it's not at Key Point Church on the campus. It is at Grace Hill, and again, which one in Springdale?
At Knapp Elementary. We have a campus in Springdale as well, and so it's a good
Okay.
opportunity for our church congregation there to get out into the community, for our congregation in the Bentonville-Rogers area to be out in the Rogers area.
Very good. I did not ask that question, obviously. So now we learned something together.
See, there we
I'm
go.
glad I asked, though. That's it. That's super exciting because for Key Point, connecting is really important.
It is. You know, we believe that the church is not meant to be contained to the four walls on a Sunday morning. It's meant to be active and alive and engaged in the community that it lives and exists in. And so this is a great opportunity for us to get to know our neighbors, to build relationships. We know that any type of life transformation and big changes come out of relationships and community.
Yeah,
And so it's
right.
really, really important for us to be a part of what's going on in our community and serving those around us.
Very good. So if they just want to learn more about the church, they can go to the website.
They can go to keypoint.church. They can go to the Facebook page. We have an app as well, a Key Point Church app.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of ways to access the information there.
Very good. Very good.
Now, I'll ask a great question here. I always say they're great questions, but talk a little bit about the youth and how you're connecting in the communities with the youth as well. You've got some youth programs in the church. Those are always wonderful things. Talk to us a little bit about that as well.
Well, in the community or in the church?
In the church, both.
So yeah, I mean, this is our next generation. These are the leaders that will be leading our congregation, our community 10, 15 years from now.
Exactly.
So we believe wholeheartedly in investing, not just childcare, right? It's kids ministry, and that's from birth through college. So whether that's young, preschool age up through college, there are ministries to be involved in the church. So our K through 5, elementary age, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, youth, 7th through 12th, and then even college. We're investing heavily into that generation because we know God will do great things with them. Not in the future, but even right now.
Even right now.
For sure, and preparing them for greater leadership opportunities in the future.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's very important to us to invest into our next generation.
Now, quick question here, a little off topic. How did you connect with this wonderful lady sitting next to me? Besides her great cooking
Yes.
and the beautiful pictures of her candied eggs that she does as well. I mean, and just those chocolates. Everything that comes out of her kitchen is a delight.
Right.
And so, so I was just amazed at how you connected with her.
Well, I think Shirla connects with pretty much everyone.
Well, she does.
But I saw her at church one Sunday morning. We connected, and I heard this accent, and I was like, man, I got to get to know this accent more.
You don't sound like you're from around here.
Not from Northwest Arkansas. And quickly learned that she has a huge, huge heart for community, for people, for serving, and And so I knew we had to get connected, and it's been an amazing connection, and really powerful things are coming out of the connection as well.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Very good. Well, now there's something super cool coming up this summer that you've been working on for a long time. Tell us more about that.
So we are working on an enormous community event called Convoy of Hope, Northwest Arkansas. Convoy of Hope is a faith-based humanitarian organization based out of Springfield, Missouri. They work all around the U.S. and around the world, serving people in different ways. The community events are really a giant day to love and serve our neighbors, and to provide a poverty-free day of hope, and treat people as guests of honor. Whoever comes can just, the idea is to let go of whatever burdens and responsibilities they have and just come and be loved and served. And so there are all kinds of services provided from, and you can fill me in on the gaps, haircuts, family portraits, kids areas, we got shoes, groceries.
Grocery, hot meals. We also have breast cancer screening.
Nice.
That's
Yes.
going to take place. Gardening, nutrition,
Yep.
sort of class. So they are going to be training people on different aspects of it. They're going to have family portrait, and I know the whole thing behind that one is that some people don't have a family portrait.
Right,
You know,
and that is a
so,
big
yeah.
thing, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Look at this, the face painting going on, the groceries being given out. This is a great promotional video here from Convoy of Hope, and all of these folks that are coming to really just connect, as you just said, with community. And so that's fantastic, and we're excited about that.
And it's going to be held at the rodeo of the Ozark.
In Springdale.
Yeah.
At Parsons Arena.
Yes,
Yeah.
on June 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. Starting
and
at 10.
Starting at 10 until supplies last. And you know, we all, just watching this video, we all have stories
Yeah.
that have walked us through different phases of life, and we've all been at places in our life where we needed a little extra love and compassion from those around us. And this is a day to really just provide that love and compassion to those freely, no strings attached, no expectations.
Yeah.
We need to love like Jesus loved, and that's just unconditionally. So that's the hope behind the day that we would really pray that people experience.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, it's as you saw from the video, it's a pretty big endeavor.
Yeah.
We plan on bringing together dozens and dozens of churches and organizations in the corporate world to make this happen.
Right.
It's going to require close to 1,000 volunteers.
Yeah.
We plan on serving around 5,000 to 6,000 guests of honor.
Definitely, and Northwest Arkansas has such a big heart.
Oh, we do.
Such a great opportunity for us to, gather up people just to serve. I mean,
For sure.
so anyway, so currently you have about 15 churches involved, but you're really looking for more churches to come alongside.
Yes, this event really doesn't happen the way it's designed to happen without the faith community
Yeah.
rallying together. And regardless of what denomination we're a part of, we can all rally around the fact that we need to love our neighbors.
That's right.
And so this is an opportunity. It's a win-win, in my opinion, for church congregations to get involved, to send their members out. If they want to contribute financially as well to helping make this happen, there's all kinds of ways to be a part, but it requires everyone coming together because we know that we are much better together, and we can achieve so much more together than we can as individual churches. So.
Exactly. So if they want to find out more about that,
You can go to convoyofhope.org/NW Arkansas. The Facebook page is the same, Convoy of Hope, Northwest Arkansas. They can search that and they'll find it on there as well.
okay, and all right, so that would be excellent. So such a great opportunity to probably donate as well, but obviously to show up and volunteer and get involved in some of the planning and get your church on board. Because it's such a neat opportunity. Our first time to ever have that here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, it is the first time Convoy of Hope has done a big event like this. And so it's going to be a really special day, for sure.
Yeah, very good.
And for the churches out there, I mean, we've been contacting churches, and I mean, y'all could contact us, If you haven't heard from us or, still waiting, contact us, let us know, that you want to take part in it.
Yeah. I mean,
we
well,
had-
and there's plenty of, there are plenty of places of worship around here.
We are, as they say in the Bible Belt, I believe.
Yeah, we are the belt
Yeah.
and buckle of the Bible Belt. So.
Well, Charlotte was also holding on to, Carrie, here another sheet of volunteerism. And we do have a big heart here when it comes to giving and also
amazing.
to volunteering. And so it looks like it says that volunteers are needed. Charlotte, tell us a little bit about kind of the volunteers that you're looking for from other churches, just other groups, just kind of anybody, really.
Yeah, so the volunteers, basically it's for each one of those segments that we spoke about. So we need volunteers to get into place with each of them, whether it's breast cancer screening, or to help give out groceries. It's basically volunteers for any one of those days. And we have online sign up for the volunteers.
Okay.
And it's at convoy.org/Northwest Arkansas. So
Okay.
they can go on there and click on the link and sign up
Okay.
And then
for
I think
whichever area that they want.
you're having a rally for those volunteers.
Yes, the
as
rally
well.
is going to be the Friday before
Okay.
at
Well,
7 p.m.
What date would that be?
June the 14th.
Okay.
Yes,
And-
the event will be June the 15th.
Okay.
And that would be starting at 7 a.m. for the volunteers.
7 a.m. or 7 p.m.?
A.m.
A.m.
On the
Yeah.
day of the day.
The day of
yeah.
the, okay.
So the
and
rally is where all the volunteers come together that
Okay.
Friday night, and then
And
the
we're
people
serving
from,
up a great Caribbean-style dinner. And
You better cook a lot. There'll be 800 people there, so.
yeah, and
I'm putting Shirley on the spot. She's going, I'm not cooking
Yeah.
for that many people.
it's gonna be
Ain't
huge.
happening, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. The people from Convoy of Hope will be here, and they're going to walk them through what's going to happen the next day, and and it's going to be like a real rally, pump up everybody, get them
Yeah.
ready for the next day, because we are going to see life change that next day, basically.
Well, maybe I can twist Jeremy's arm. He controls so much of the show here. Maybe I can twist his arm a little bit to see if he might come out and we might be able to do a show from there and really spotlight this event.
No
because-
pressure, Jeremy.
No, not, well, Jeremy's got to make the decision. I'm not the decision maker here, so no pressure whatsoever. So, if not, we'll certainly post on Facebook.
Will there be
that,
food? I
You
think
know,
that's
yeah,
the
that's really the
question.
key. Will there be food? Maybe in the VIP area we can get Miss Shirley to do a little oxtail event there in the VIP area. But no, this is phenomenal. Absolutely.
I want to mention one more thing, if possible, and Shirley alluded to it, talking about transformation on the day of. This is a one-day event, which is, and it's going to be very significant, but the real impact lies in what happens afterwards.
Exactly.
And so there's a chance for people to connect, to faith ministers, to leaders in our community, to sit down if they want to pray with somebody about something, and then a whole follow-up process, because we know that real transformation, like I said, and life change happens through community and relationship.
It does.
And so really the heart of this is connecting people to resources. Yes, that's important, but more importantly than that and beyond is connecting them to relationships and a life-giving community, whether that be a church or some sort of community service that they've been looking for, they didn't know exists, and walking with them for the long term to see real long-term sustainable change.
I think there's two things that go into play with what you just talked about, and that was simply that it's about people connecting. We are meant as humans to connect.
Yeah, we were not created to
be
travel the road alone.
No.
We were meant
We weren't,
to connect.
Jesus went out and connected with some of the most unreputable people at the end of the day. And, what's interesting to me is, as I was talking earlier on the subject of depression, when I had Dr. Horine's video on, I believe that when we connect with people, it minimizes those things that we're going through because we're able to share.
Yeah.
And people who connect with us are able to share and take those burdens. It's lifting those burdens of one another and
Yeah, and I
carrying
think-
those burdens.
Well, and I think about the scriptures that talks about woe to the man who falls and has no one to pick him up. Like, we don't want people to be that person.
No.
And we always say at Key Point, this is not a church to attend. This is a community to belong.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't want people just to come and fill seats. We want them to be a part of what's happening and be engaged and a participant, because that's where you really find a much more life-giving community, and it's impactful.
Yeah.
I liken this event also to, from the biblical standpoint of the feeding of the 5,000, because here it is, we're feeding them through many different aspects.
Sure.
It's, we just saw in the video, people getting their hair cut, breast,
groceries.
cancer exams, mammograms, things of that, breast cancer exams, things of that nature. All of those things are feeding someone in some way.
And speaking about connection, we are going to have a big part of this whole event is our church connection piece of it,
Right.
that we spearheading right now to try and get all the churches involved
Yes.
in the area, and we're going to have an event for them on May 9th.
Okay.
So
The Pastor's Summit
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
/ luncheon, because we know pastors come when there's food.
Well,
Shirley's actually cooking for that.
I come when there's food, so and
You gotta come then.
I will come. I will definitely be there. I'll probably be at the front of the line. I never wait for the call. I just get up in front of the line.
Yeah.
Somebody has to start.
Somebody has to start. It might
Way
as well
to go.
be me.
Be a leader.
Be a
leader.
Be the first one at
They're
the
going to get
buffet.
Caribbean food that day.
There you go. And if there's butter, I'll definitely be ahead of the line. I may even pre-sample before everybody gets there.
Somebody
Yeah,
has to
so-
make sure it's safe.
Exactly. Just like Jared talked about earlier, somebody has to make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
And,
So that-
and now, May 9th, when, at what time?
So that's going to be at our Key Point Church in Springdale,
Okay.
which is right off Highway 71 from 11:30 to 1.
Okay, all right.
And that's the pastor's summit.
Pastor Summit, luncheon.
All right.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
really,
where we connect, and they're going to have like a luncheon / training with some of the folks, some Convoy of Hope going to be here, and share with them, that vision and all what's
Yeah.
going to happen and the expectation for afterwards. Because everybody that comes is not going to be in one area, so the churches have that opportunity to reach people from different places that their church are, right? So.
Well, and I could see this thing being so big that you'll have to overflow to your Rogers campus here and perhaps simulcast that. Now, it'd be a little bit difficult with Shirla's cooking to simulcast the
Right.
cooking. They'd just be in one place.
And that's
Shirla
just it.
can't be in two places at once.
But that's just it. It's not just for our churches, for all
Right.
the churches.
Right.
And the whole expectation there is that wherever you live, they have churches there.
Yes.
And for those churches to connect with you. And that's why we need churches from the whole area
That's
to get
right.
involved.
That's right.
Carrie, and I know I took you off cue from your questions. Jeremy, do we have the picture of the event and the dates, I believe, and how people can reach out? I'm not sure if we got a good screenshot of that.
It'll be posted in the comments
It'll be
below, if
posted
not
in the
here,
comments
but-
as well. But no, I'm sure you've got a lot of other questions that I just
I
interrupted.
don't, but again, the June 15th Convoy of Hope Day is at Parsons Stadium in
Yes,
Springdale,
right.
the Rodeo of the Ozarks Arena.
Arena. What a great venue to have that.
I agree. So everybody knows where it is. I mean, pretty much, except, and it's like just right before the Rodeo of the Ozarks.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, which I haven't been to that in years, but
Wow.
I used to always go to that with my family.
yeah.
So,
And you'll have tents
Great
out there
location.
set up. Folks will kind
Sure.
of get
Yep.
some shade. There'll be
Lots of
some
tents.
water and all of that stuff.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
wonderful and centrally located for all
Yes.
of Northwest Arkansas.
Yes.
So, well, Shirla, Job, welcome back to the show.
Yes.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome here anytime. You're so darling. You're so charming. So,
and
Jared,
And
you-
of course,
you
if
can
I
come back
bring
too.
food, right?
Exactly. Bring
I
food.
can't cook like Shirley, but
No, you don't have to bring food.
You don't.
But you are like an artist with food, so.
Thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, Jared, thank you so much for being
thank
here.
you for allowing us to come.
Yeah, and again, the website for Key Point Church is
Keypoint.church.
keypoint.church.
Excellent.
All right.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes. Don't forget Saturday.
no, we
That's
won't.
right.
We won't
Saturday,
forget
4 to
Saturday.
7,
4 to
Knapp
7
Elementary in Springdale and Grace Hill Elementary in Rogers.
Yeah.
for that
Bring your
Easter
kids.
event.
Dixieland. Yeah.
And then
Yes.
church. Come to church this weekend.
Bring a picnic blanket, some lawn chairs,
Yep.
and your biggest smile, and then we'll take care of all the rest.
There
Yeah.
you go. Well, we're all in,
Thank you.
and we can't thank you both enough. Charlotte,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
my
appreciate
friend.
it.
Appreciate you to be on the show. And we'll be back here in just a few moments as Carrie and I will wrap up with some calendar of event discussions, and then additionally just kind of our zainty antics about what's happened in the show. We'll be right back. Well, we're back. What a show.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I mean, here it was. We started out this morning with Jared talking about the excellent event that they're going to have here at Village on the Park. And then all of a sudden we're rolling into talking about kind of, things that in one sense get us down, but also the ability in terms of connecting and how to kind of cure depression.
And people don't really think about around the change of each season. You find that that there's a lot of unrest among those who are maybe more emotionally sensitive to it, that struggle. And a lot of people will blame it on the weather, but I believe it has so much to do. I see it at the change in the seasons, with my loved ones that struggle with mental illness. And my mom hates it when I call it mental illness, but
it is.
But that's what it is. It's just like anything else. And I'm glad that we're a society that's beginning to talk about mental illness, but there is so much more that we don't even know.
Well, we have, my wife has her brother who is mentally ill, and just as you mentioned, in those seasons of change in terms of the times, it happens, and so he struggles a great deal with that.
Yeah.
And so, I feel for him in that sense, and just, you can't begin to understand what they go through. and what individuals do go through.
Right, right.
And I do believe it has to also do with all sorts of different life's happenings, everything from the DNA makeup of it, family history of it.
Exactly. Some of it is chemical, some of it is situational. I think
Exactly.
and the truth is, I think in noticing it, the pattern with my family members that have struggled with it, is we are much more connected to the earth than we believe, than we really give credit to. So when the animals are deciding that it's time to grow more hair or to mate, or the trees are deciding, that it's time to push the sap up out of the roots. The same things that are causing those changes can affect our loved ones. So I think just the takeaway for me is, hey, if the season is about to change in 3 weeks, you need to check in with your loved ones and see how they're doing.
Exactly, and in fact, last night I was reading about a young man who unfortunately took the life of his 2 grandparents, and it was sad, and I thought, what drove that individual to take the life of a couple of people that were close to him? Again, all sorts of, you don't know. I mean, the news only reports one side of it, so you don't know.
And so many people are reliant on their medicine, and there are some medicines that do not always play well with everybody's chemistry. And I think it's really important to pay attention to what's going on and just check in with people.
It is, and I think that's where talking about connecting with people.
Right.
It's everything from what Jeff and I talked about with the Air Museum volunteering. Just the other day, I was in one of the Walmart stores, and one of the folks there was telling me he has a son that has a mental handicap, if you will. And what's interesting is that I see his son all the time in the Walmart store. He's taking care of maintenance, picking up trash from all the different areas and mopping the floors and doing that.
He's doing meaningful work and serving something bigger than himself.
Exactly. And
that's what we all want.
Exactly. And here's what's interesting to me. Every time he passes by me, he says, "Hello, Mr. Mike. Hello.
Aww.
Are you having a good day?" And I say, "Yes, I am." And his name is Michael. And I always say, "Michael, are you having a good day?" And he goes, "I'm having a great day. Good, good, good." And he's just always smiling.
That's very cool.
In spite of what his struggles are.
Yeah.
He's always smiling.
Yeah.
And so, but like I said, we got to talk about with Jeff the opportunity at the Air and Military Museum. What a great time that was.
There.
Oh yes, by far. And also, you had a great interview with Mallory from the Passion Play. Tell us a little bit about that.
How cute was she? Oh my goodness! Can you imagine being involved at 5 years old?
I was going to say she's been doing this since 5.
If you have been, it's this ginormous place, and to be part of that with real animals and the production. I mean, it's amazing. So, what a neat thing.
Yes. Now, I don't suppose they perfume the animals down, but
they get their little spa treatment.
But I will say that is such a way to be connected as well, and there's many volunteers that go through that. And so, the Passion Play, just this time of the year, it brought up a thought of I needed to have them on, and I felt like, in one sense, God was leading to have them on, and I wanted.
Oh my goodness! And this is the first year that they have done that Easter show, so Friday and Saturday night.
Go over, my goodness, the drive and the admission.
And the weather's going to be great.
Oh, and the admission price is very reasonable.
We didn't even talk about that, but yes, worth every penny.
Yes.
And there's stuff to do. They've got more activities. They've really reinvented themselves out there over the last few years. It's not just a theater production and a statue.
No, and I don't know if Mallory talked to you, but they have a wonderful museum inside there.
That's what she was saying. The Bible Museum is just amazing.
Oh, and some of the art that's in there.
Yes, the Art Museum.
Yes.
So go to their website and see what they've got going on. But go for the day, then stay for the buffet, and then buy tickets to the show.
One of the things that I thought was very interesting too, I got to look at one of their videos, Carrie, on kind of one of the opportunities, as Walmart uses that word so wonderfully.
It's the other kind of opportunity.
It's the other kind of opportunity, but they have an opportunity regarding their repair of their roof to the building, as there's water when it rains and it's leaking through, and they've done many repairs over the years. I got to looking at their Facebook website. Do you know how many people like their page?
No.
It was phenomenal to me, especially for the Passion Play. But over 70,000 people like
huge.
their page. And I got to thinking, what would it be if every one of those 70,000 individuals donated $5?
So we didn't talk about that. I know that we had donated from our family fund in the end of last year because they had a need for a van or something like that. So there's a need for a roof.
Yes, there's
Am I
a
correct?
need for a roof, and trying to protect some of that art and the artifacts that they do have in the museum.
Well, they are
And
indeed
so-
a 501c3, so that's a great chance to throw some money at that.
Yes,
but
yes.
Roofs for commercial buildings are not cheap.
No.
I mean, for a house they're not, but there's like a next level up requirement for a commercial building. So
Well,
that makes it even more expensive.
They've gone through so many kind of different repairs with that roof. They talked about kind of how they, patched it here and there. And then
I know, you got to do what you have to do.
Yeah,
So.
and so I just got to thinking the number would be phenomenal
Right.
on everybody donating $5 that liked their page.
That's right. That's right.
And $5 is, at the end of the day, that's a drive-through at McDonald's or Arby's or whatever. So
that's a foo-foo coffee.
That is. And so I encourage you to not only get to the Passion Play, but also to donate. And I think they would love that very much. And but wow, what a time with Sherla and Jared. And
what neat stuff that they have going on over there. I was over there for the Nicole's House fundraiser that they had last week. Just a really neat thing. Nicole's House is in Rogers. It's a pretty new transitional facility for girls that are transitioning out of drug addiction, substance abuse addiction.
Well,
I'm not sure. I don't know that I gave that justice, but anyway.
Well, I know they sent this wonderful poster, and I know I'm a little bit far away from our camera here, but this is a free event, and it is connecting the masses for the Convoy of Hope. This is a free community event that we were just talking about.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes. Groceries, hot lunch, nutrition, health services, a kids zone where the kids can play, children's shoes. What an important need. Even in Northwest Arkansas, when we think we are the community of plenty, we are the community that needs to give.
We are super generous here, but I think there's always room for more. So.
Family portraits, veteran services, haircuts, breast health services, and more than anything that's needed, prayer.
Yeah, and it says rain or shine.
Yes.
So pray for shine.
Well, definitely. And they can be reached at convoy.org/Northwest or NW Arkansas. And again, what a great opportunity to come out in June for this event, and June the 15th at 10 a.m.
Yeah, we should talk about that more as it gets closer.
Yes, we will. And just to kind of plant the seed for folks. And
the big thing is, get your church talking about it now and get them involved, because it's time to get volunteers on board, because they'll need up to 1,000 volunteers.
1,000. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. When I worked with the Cancer Challenge, there's also a June event. I want to say she managed, 400 to 500 volunteers for that event.
Wow.
And that was several events spread over a week. I can't even imagine 1,000 volunteers on site.
Unbelievable. Well, there's lots of things going on coming in Easter week here. We've got Chris Tomlin's Holy Roar Tour coming up on the 17th, being today. Tonight at 7 at the Amp.
I saw that on the billboard on the way over. I was like, how did I miss that? I love Chris Tomlin. I was like, I'm driving by. Of course, I would have had to cancel band practice. So.
Tom might have looked a little differently upon that for,
Well, I would have done it. I mean, our band members are all a bunch of, like church guys, so they play in church bands and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you.
They would have understood. They probably went, oh man, I wish I'd known Chris Tomlin was coming to town too. So.
Well, and to me, it's interesting, all the different Easter events that are coming up. And there's a kids' fun day event that is at the Sanctuary in Lincoln, Arkansas, that starts at 10 a.m. on April the 20th. The wonderfully made Easter egg hunt event, Rotary Park in Springdale at 3:00 p.m. Go out and look at, I'll tell you, I love KLRC, and they have a great event calendar, but go out and look there. The one that I, of course, tuned in on or keyed in on right away was April the 20th, the Easter egg hunt and pancake breakfast. This is coming to Sequoia UMC for the annual Easter egg and pancake breakfast. That is phenomenal. And that's at Sequoia. Yeah, 8 a.m. Sequoia United Methodist Church in Fayetteville. And I'll tell you, pancake breakfast, you can't beat a pancake breakfast. Can't screw up pancakes. Those are kind of hard to kind of mess up.
You should be eating those, right?
I know, I should. But, I'm glad you're here to keep me in check, It's kind of like with Shirla's meal the other day that she had here. Everybody was like, okay, Mike, you only can eat so much of this. So, but even right here at Village on the Park, their excellent event that's coming up as well. And,
I know. It's looking a lot like Easter around here at Village on the Park.
Yes. So. And Life Point Church over in Centerton having their Come Alive event on April the 19th. They're having a Good Friday service at 6:30 p.m. April 21st, 10 a.m. Easter Sunday event. Got the kids' egg hunt to follow. The kids love to hunt eggs, I'll tell you, because there's all sorts of goodies in there. And then, of course, our good friends at Key Point as well having the Easter Fest. And just as Shirla mentioned, that's April 20th from 4 to 7. Locations are Grace Hill Elementary School on Dixieland. And then they also had their other location as well. So, like I said, go out to all these different websites. So much information to glean. But great place. There's no reason anybody should be staying at home.
On Easter. Or any other time anyway.
Exactly.
And something that's happening in Bella Vista next week is there's a senior expo at Reardon Hall.
Yes, the senior expo.
Yeah, so it's 9 to 1 a.m. at Reardon Hall on Thursday, April 25th.
April 25th.
About what month it was.
Yes,
talked about
exactly. June. So
Exactly. So, so what's going to happen is my band is going to play.
Your band is going to play there. Wow. So, during the day of all things. My goodness, y'all are kind of nighttime
So our little
runners,
band Home by Daylight will be playing.
You'll definitely be
at
home
the
by
expo.
daylight.
Yeah, we'll be home by nap time. Yeah.
Oh goodness, how the band has changed. When it used to party all night, now it's home by nap time.
Well, I would love, because we got the second band, and so with that one, we don't play a lot of late night, kind of smoky places anymore. But we're playing one this Friday night. We're playing Shirley's in Springdale, which is
that's kind of lowbrow there.
I tell you what. Okay, so there was a real Shirley.
Yes.
In fact, she passed away last year, but she would do a contract with a manager who would manage and kind of run the bar for her after she no longer did.
Right.
So there was an actual Shirley until just last year when she passed away.
Was she the same as Shirley's restaurant that was down the road at the other end?
I don't know. I don't know that. Well. It's kind of funny, some of these old time places like that. So
exactly.
Anyway, still a great place for live music on Friday and Saturday nights.
And of course, here I go.
After 9.
Equating everything to eating out. It's not very far from our good friends at Waffle House.
It's next door.
I know.
I was doing my taxes and I had like receipts from Waffle House after we played.
See,
so.
there you go. There you
There's
go.
the band dinner after we played.
You know,
so.
you can always count on Waffle House. I was amazed, for Shirla enjoying so much cooking Caribbean style.
Yeah.
She actually, on her Facebook page here the other day, acquainted us to a little venue in Oklahoma. And it was a nice little restaurant that was a mom and pop restaurant, but served excellent breakfast, excellent food. And so I was glad for Shirla tuning us in to kind of
nice.
a little place in our regional map, if you will, for Oklahoma to get over and try out.
She needs to have a show where, like Guy Fieri,
yes,
who
exactly.
does diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah,
And she just
exactly.
goes and teaches.
Yes. I've wondered if we might be able to co-op on kind of a critique adventure across northwest Arkansas and see whether or not Shirla would agree with my palate on some of the locations that I've dined at.
No.
I've heard her critique level is pretty high, so
I would think.
yes,
but
exactly.
I don't know. I just think everybody appreciates food differently. So
they do. The palate is quite different. So, well, we conclude yet another wonderful show and had some great guests on here. And thank you for coming out. You were all springed out here with spring wardrobe.
Sort of
I love
Easter-ish.
the scarf.
there you go.
Love the outfit.
I know they
Very
really
nice.
can't see it on the screen.
Very
well,
nice.
So.
And so, I think before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors in our events here that always help out with the show. And of course, where would we be without our good friends here at Village on the Park? Love these folks. They've always opened their door to us, and I can't thank them enough for that. And Jared, is always a pleasure to me getting on here, and we like to kid back and forth with each other and talk about how he might rig the Easter egg hunt or some of those other things like that. But I always laugh when I have Jared on. He's great to have on the show. Want to thank you, Carrie, for being on the show, especially Soar with Eagles being part of our show here. We certainly enjoy having you and you putting up with me every time we turn around here on the show.
It's always full of surprises. Keeps me on my feet.
It does. And of course, Web Untied, how can we not thank Jeremy? Jeremy always tends to put up with us as well. Last minute changes. He's now talking about mounting a GoPro camera on his head so that when he,
that would be cool. So they have a tech guy harness for that?
Exactly.
Just put it on your head. Like the beer hat. Well, they have the GoPro hat. I've got a construction cap. We could do that.
Here it was earlier. I asked Jared.
I might use it for anything else.
Little red lights on top. Well, earlier I had told Jared if I could get a picture of what was behind us here, which is a great banner of the Easter hunt. And so all of a sudden he was looking at me like, Mike, really? We're 30 seconds into firing off on the show and you want me to do this?
Wait, I had an idea.
I have an idea. Oh, but want to also thank our good friends Music Works, of course, again, Jeremy, Web Untied, and Amp Electric, Profile by Sanford, Dr. Charlie Barton with Barton Consulting, again, Ignite Chiropractic, Dr. Lee, just really giving us practical hints to really help us out with our health. Simply Cool, Dr. Cool, Johnny Brusco's got some great pizza and salad over there. Les at Meteor Guitar Gallery in downtown Bentonville. Kumon Learning, Nuclear Health and Fitness. Look at these wonderful flowers we got.
These are beautiful.
Tulips are
wonderful.
wonderful.
I know. I was like, oh, these look plastic, but they are not. They are the real deal.
No, I've got to thank
I love tulip seasons.
Carrie. Just, she amazes me every time in getting out here to get these delivered to us, and just dropping what she's doing to get out here and deliver these for our show.
And where are they at again?
They're in Bentonville off of Walton, right across from the Dollar General store. You can't miss them in that shopping center. Go out to Enchanted Designs on their website and look at their website. I'll tell you, it just amazes me what comes out of their out of their shop.
Yeah.
And of course, finally, Rita Spicer with Spicer Insurance Agency. Love Rita, appreciate her.
Is she coming on the show?
I've got to get her on the show. You know, it's all those things between regulations and, you know, all of those different things. Insurance folks and investment folks, they have all these different regulations.
And that's the deal?
And part of that is the deal.
Maybe we could just talk about
stuff, you know, stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Yes.
Stuff and things, and people will fall in love with her.
Exactly, they do.
But yeah,
They
I mean,
really do.
your relationship with your insurance agent is very important.
It is. It
So.
really is. And take the time to stop by if you're looking for auto insurance or really any form of insurance, business insurance. Rita can talk to you about
That's
that.
right. Homeowners, package it all together and get discounts.
Exactly.
Show me the discounts.
Show me the discount. Love those discounts. So, well, folks, we conclude at this wonderful hour and appreciate you staying with us. Sometimes we get a little extended, but we enjoy the times that we have with our guests.
That's right. That's
So,
right. You always do such a great job of curating the content for the show. It's always like, I didn't know about that.
Well, the other day I almost ran out of curating, so.
I don't know, but lo and behold, we have a show.
We had a show, and here we were. And thanks to Jeremy again for production and, again, putting up with me. Until next time, neighbors, we look forward to seeing you. Good day, good morning, and most of all, good luck in your day. We'll be back next week.